All right, so here are the goals that, I don't have a clicker, that I presented to you on day one in my opening remarks. Number one was we want to transform our organizations. Number two is, click. Yes, we want to learn what we need to learn. Next is we want to meet who we need to meet. Number four was we want to get re-energized to keep up the fight. So by a show of applause, does everyone feel like we achieved those goals this week? All right, good. So here's the help I need. First off, I'd like you to thank the programming committee who guided the creation of this programming every step of the way. So they bring their relationships and their network, their judgment, and also the problems they want to solve. For a round of applause for the programming committee. And so there's two people I also want to thank. So come on up, Jeff Gallimore, and my boss and my wife, Marguerite Kim. So as they walk on, let me first tell you about Jeff Gallimore. I can't tell you how many crazy things he has had to do, primarily because I have a very loose grasp of both time and space. And he is a world-class too, right? If you can't, there's no one better at keeping the train running on time than Jeff. So I can't tell you how grateful I am for his help, so that all the near misses that we have backstage are contained, so that ideally you don't even know that they happened on this side of the stage. However, over drinks, I am happy to tell you about every single one of them. And next, Marguerite. She is the person that allows me to do the work that I love. Hanging out with the best in the game, which includes all of you, writing, and of course, doing functional programming in Clojure. So for this conference, I focus on programming and on the speakers, and she handles everything else. So if you appreciate having this great venue, having the information about the conference and the program in the mobile app, having content from the conference available in a format to share with your colleagues, having food and drinks, Wi-Fi, getting books signed by their authors, managing all the teams of people required to make this event possible, which includes all our sponsors, hotel staff, and the entire IT Rev team. If you got any value out of that this week, can you show how much you appreciate both Jeff and Marguerite?
Just a few more announcements before we get onto the planes, trains, and automobiles to take us back to where we live and where we work. We have slides from over 50 amazing sessions available on Dropbox and GitHub for you to download. That information is also in Slack, and you'll also be getting emails with all of this information too. In addition to the presentations, we'll also have the videos available on the IT Revolution YouTube channel. You want to subscribe to this, you should start seeing those videos go live shortly, and they'll be continuing over the next couple of weeks. Now, the reason that we make those presentations and those videos available is because we want you to share them. We want you to share the slide decks. We want you to share the videos. We want you to share the books that you've gotten, even the sponsor swag that you've gotten in the expo hall. But most importantly, we want you to share your learnings and your stories from the summit with the people that you work for and work with. That's how we expand this community, and that's how we increase the impact that this community has. Speaking of sharing, get those last few session evaluations into the app. We want to hear the feedback that you have, and the speakers want to hear about the impact that they had on this community too. Now, you've heard me use that word community a bunch of times. I hope you've noticed the logo for the conference. It says, "Get together and go faster." Now, there's an African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone, and if you want to go far, go together. Well, I say that's bunk. I say that's bunk. Because as a community, when we get together, we can go farther and we can go faster. And we're excited to see how far and how fast we all can go when we come back again in a year and do this conference again. Who's with me for that one? Yeah. So for some final parting thoughts, let me hand back to Marguerite Kim, the CEO of IT Revolution.
Oh, no.
Okay. Oh, yeah, no. Is Tom Clark still here? Tom? Yes? Well, for those of you who saw Tom's talk yesterday, he was talking all about the formula, Love Island, you know, like hot people minus clothes. I'm going to share with you smart person with clothes. Hold on. I don't know how this, what do I push this?
Oh, the green button.
This one. Okay. So you guys probably can imagine the preparation we do. We order lanyards and food and beverage and all those things Gene talked about. And, you know, he does the programming. But one thing that you don't know that we do is that Gene and I, and it's like a Bataan death march for Gene. But we go to my favorite department store and we get him suited and booted. So he looks really good. Who thinks Gene looks great on stage? Yeah, exactly. You're welcome. So that's Gene's new suit. And we were very late, but we were behind the ball this year. So I said, okay, Gene, I've got everything set up for you. I've told them what you need, how many days. All I need you to do is bring your dress shoes. He's like, no problem. And so in the car, I said, your dress shoes? I'm wearing them. I was like, okay, got it. Except, you might see here, so Gene has on the suit and the tailor comes in and he says, sir, which shoe, how would you like these hemmed? And you know, I said, well, one break and blah, blah, blah. And he said, no, I'm sorry, to which shoe? And I said, what do you mean which shoe? And in that moment we realized, it's happening. Gene says, it's happening, it's happening. That usually takes place about, a week out from the conference where we find ourselves, we just start walking in circles. Gene gets up in the middle of the night and eats donuts. He can't really piece together sentences. And then our text thread to each other is generally some combination of those two pictures, just back and forth. Just different iterations of those pictures. Like, how's your day? Oh, God. So, that's our version of Love Island. It's like DevOps Island, right? Smart people wearing clothes. And then I just wanted to take a minute to really express my gratitude for the wonderful community you are. Gene, you've heard Gene talk a lot about, like, I'm so glad that, you work with me now so that you can meet my people. And I like to think of you all as our people now. Because this morning in the Slack channel, someone posted that they lost their Apple Pencil. And that's like a needle in a haystack. There's 1,000 delegates here. There's so much hustle and bustle. And that delegate, he got his pen back. I mean, he got his Apple Pencil back. And I think he was as surprised as anyone else. Next year, I'm going to have an experiment where I put my name on a Sharpie. And I say, someone see my Sharpie and see if I get it back. But that's a testament to the fact that you guys are genuinely kind people, that you are true collaborators, and that you want to use your power for good. So I applaud you, and thank you for letting me be part of this community. Okay, and this is the last bit, is in the Unicorn Project, so this year Gene and I got not one but 2 dogs because we're crazy. But that's Marshmallow. And Marshmallow often goes to work with Gene, goes to Gene's office, and we call it coding camp. Like, Marshmallow, are you going to coding camp today? And so I think that picture summarizes sort of how you think we are all, Gene and I are doing. Like, we're hanging out, we're just taking it all in, we're enjoying the ride. What you don't know is that, which is really, we're just hanging on. We're just hanging in there, and we're really grateful that you've come along for the ride with us. So thank you so, so much. That's it. Is my friend John Smart here? Yes. There he is.
So there is one more person who needs to be thanked.
Good God.
Yeah, someone who's very humble, and as a mutually exothermic community, we wouldn't all be here if it wasn't for Gene. So, Gene is the glue that keeps everyone together, that makes this happen. Gene puts an enormous amount of effort into the programming, into reviewing all of the talks, So Gene and the IT Revolution crew, from the programming committee, from all of you, if you could show your appreciation, please.
See everybody next year.